Today, I'm John Paulo Alba from Group 6, and my report is all about the impact of tourism and hospitality. The impacts of tourism and hospitality. The rapid growth of tourism and hospitality in the 20th century has produced both problems and benefits. For destination countries, it has had visible impacts on the socio-cultural and socio-economic environment. Although tourism and hospitality can bring economic advantages to a destination, it also brings with it serious long-term problem which without careful control and planning can threaten the society. So tourism and hospitality has both good and bad effect, especially in socio-cultural and socio-economic environment. When we say socio-cultural, it's all about what makes your community unique. For example, the culture, the languages, the arts, something like that. And tourism and hospitality will affect those things. And the socio-economic environment is all about the social factors and the economic within your community. For example, the wealth, the employment, the money that goes in and out in your community. The next one is the positive economic effects of tourism and hospitality. Like any other industry, tourism and hospitality affects the economy of those areas in which it takes place. So, tourism and hospitality daw, maapektuhan ang mga area na kung hain yun. Kung example, kung may tourism and hospitality sa lugar na yun, kung may mga resorts, something like that, maapektuhan ang economy yun. It's either mudakong economy or it's either mabagsak ang economy yun. Mas damo or mas mugamay ang kwarta na musod sa na area. The area affected may be a resort, a region of the entire nation. Notwithstanding the size of the affected area, the economic effects of tourism and hospitality may be considered into four groups, namely, effects on income, on employment, on the area's balance of payment with the outside world, and on investment and development. And we're going to tackle it much more deeper. Now let's proceed to the income. The first one is income generation. The tourism and hospitality industry generates income in a destination country. So it's very self-explanatory. If there's tourism and hospitality, there's money. There's money that will be produced, money that will enter in a specific area. For example, sa Tandag, kung may mga resorts nga di, tapos may mga tourists na mukha sa Tandag, may musud gid na kwarta kay magkuhan sa sila nga to mag-check-in or something. The next one is quick development. Nations often use tourism and hospitality to increase their income quickly. It's observed that income from tourism and hospitality can grow faster than from manufacturing or other options. So, quick development, from the word quick development, mas paspas ang development gadi sa lugar. So, since damo isang kwarta na musud nga di, tapos damo isa mutaas ang demand gyud on ng mga facilities and structures. So, ito na mga kwarta na ilaya kita sa tourism and hospitality sectors, ilay invest para ma-develop ani sa ka-area para mas damo pa ma-cater na tourist nga din. The next one is sources of tourism income. Tourism income includes wages and salaries, interest, rents, and profits. Wages and salaries make up significant portions of this income. So, sa tourism and hospitality, source of tourism income, so, inisi ang mga wages, mga sweldo sa community, sa mga trabahante nila, interest, makita nila sa ila services or products, mga ingana. Income from businesses. Businesses in tourism and hospitality generate income by selling goods and services to tourists. This includes various local services and products like food, drinks, crafts, restaurant, tour guides, cultural events, and more. So income from businesses. So sa mga business, may makita sa businesses, yan mga facilities nag-offer ng mga service and products like mga souvenir shops, mga spas, mga hotels, mga resorts. May kita sa video nila mo. Mga restaurant, mga cafes. Next is taxes. Incomes is also obtained through taxation, both direct and indirect. For example, value-added tax can be imposed on hotel bills, which is form of indirect taxation. So, tax, syempre, pag walang kita tax, related yan po sa kwarta. It's either direct or indirect. Ang pinaka-best example ko na nga di is sa hotel bills, like, or imagine magpalit ka mo bito sa like example sa 7-Eleven, pag tanaw niyo sa resibo may VAT tax, amo yun siya, mahatag yun sa government as an income, which is a good thing kaya para mas mag-improve ang economy ng ato country. The next one is income redistribution. Tourism and hospitality can act as income redistributor with many tourist visits going to developing nation. Income redistribution, pag mulang kita income redistribution, ang mga kwarta na yan gikan sa lain na country mahatag sa ato, like kaya syempre mga tourist sila, pag mukha sila sa ato, magda silang kwarta, tapos itong mga kwarta na ilang gigamit sa pagpalit nga di ng mga products or mga services sa mga tourist spot or sa mga hospitality establishment, ito siya ng mga kwarta, makuha nito sa mga local people, which, so, in a simple term, kibalik pa mo lang kita, income redistribution mo dan equal distribution yan, mahatagan ng opportunity yan iban para makakwarta. The next one is currency restrictions. Due to capital flow between countries, some nations limit the amount of currency their citizens can take abroad for foreign travels. Currency restrictions. Pag makabantay ka mo, pag mugadto ka mo sa lain na lugar, may limit na kwarta na edad. And for example, mugadto ka sa Singapore, ang limit na is 50,000, 20,000 pesos. Kaya ili yung gilimit para dili madaot ang economy ng isa ka country, para dili madaot ang currency exchange o para dili mag-inflation, which is very important siya mo. Next is benefits for developing countries. Tourism and hospitality offers advantages to developing countries as they require a wide range of businesses to cater to tourists, including local products, services, and accommodation. So, mga developing countries, which is the Philippines, like, syempre, dili pa kita kung grabe ka-advance, dili pa kita kung mga manufacturer, dili pa kita yon mga sources, dili pa kita dili pa kita kung manufacturing lagi, dili pa kita manufacturing country, dili pa kita kung developed countries. So, mag-based pa ang one of the major profit maker ng ato country is through tourism and hospitality. And lang nga di benefits for developing countries. Like dakuha ang benefits ng tourism and hospitality sa ato kay amo ini siya ang one major provider ng trabaho. So, which is a good thing kay patawag ini which is a good thing kay mas damo ang trabaho nga din kung mas damo ang trabaho nga din sa ato country, mas damo ang kwarta na musud and mas damo and matabangan na kuan people. Next one is national income and measuring tourism impacts. The total income in a country is referred to as the national income. Tourism and hospitality's significance to a country's economy is evaluated by consideration the national income generated by the sectors. So, ang tourism, like as what we said, ang tourism is nagaproduce yan ng kwarta. Ang tourism and hospitality nagaproduce yan ng kwarta, not just from the foreign tourists but also from local tourists na maka-afford na magka-afford ng vacation or something like that. The next one is like just like other sectors like agriculture sectors, medical sectors, ang tourism and hospitality sectors is very important siya kay dakuian iya sa ma-generate na kwarta. Okay, the next one is using multiplier to estimate income. Multipliers are a common method for estimating the income generated by tourism and hospitality. Multipliers helps estimate the additional income that an economy receives as a result of the national spending or cash injection related to tourism and hospitality. Kapag mulang kita na using multipliers to estimate incomes is kung siya like for example, pag may imo kita mas lahi na example dakan. So for example, bagligya ka ng juice, tapos may mo palit sa imo juice, tapos damo inan imo kwarta. Tapos ito na kwarta, imo say invest na sab para mas damo pan imo mabaligyan na juice. Kung mas damo imo mabaligyan na juice, mas dako ang imo kwarta na makuha. So pag makuha na sa ito ng kwarta, imo na sab say invest para damo na sab ang imo mabaligya. So amo yan siya ang multiplier effect. Now let's move on from income. Let's proceed to employment. Benefits of employment. Employment in the tourism and hospitality industry benefits both local and national economies. It offers more job opportunities compared to other economic sectors. So, mas damo ang ma-offer ng tourism and hospitality sector na trabaho. Like, very good ini siya kay pag may trabaho ang mga tao, may kwarta na musod sa to country, tapos ang mga tao na mga yaon sa ang mga tao na nearby sa mga tourism and hospitality infrastructures or establishment, mas dayo ang ila quality of life. Now let's proceed to advantage for developing economies. One of the significant advantages of tourism and hospitality in developing economy is the rapid generations of employment. It often generates jobs faster in developing nations than in developed ones. So, since developing countries pa sa kita, damo igid ang ma-generate na trabaho ang tourism and hospitality sectors, which is a good thing. Pay disparities. Employees in the tourism and hospitality industry in developed countries are typically paid less than their counterparts in developing countries where the opposites is true. There's a lot of factors that influence na nga asa mas dako ang sweldo sa mga developing countries in the context of tourism and hospitality sectors kaysa sa developed countries. One of which is because ang cost of living sa developed countries is mas dako, so mas need nila ng dako na sweldo. Pero para sa ato, itong sweldo nga to na country, kung sa ato ito i-convert na kwarta, mas dako ang value. Next is employment. Types of employment. Direct employment. These jobs involve providing goods and services directly to tourists in places like hotels, restaurants, bars, and nightclubs. So, when we say direct employments, mga direct employments siya, mostly related sa mga hotels, restaurants, bars, and nightclubs. The next one is indirect employment. These jobs are associated with tourism-related activities and benefit both local resident and tourist. Examples include shops and food wholesalers. So very self-explanatory. The last one is induced employment. These positions are only peripherally related to tourism and hospitality, but are generated because of it. This category includes jobs like construction workers, merchants, and professionals. Example given, doctors and accountants who serve employees working directly in tourism-related roles. So, pag mo lang kita induce employment, yahimo inisya na employment tungod kay kinahanglan inisya sa tourism and hospitality. For example, the workers, construction workers rather, kay kung maghimo ko ng mga tourism and hospitality establishment, lisod sa ang imo papandayon ang mga doktor, syempre mga construction workers ang imo papandayon. Now we're done with income and employment. Let's proceed to balance of payment. Balance of payments. It's like a financial report card for a country showing the flow of goods, services, and money in and out of the country during a specific time of period. So, ang balance of payment is like a record siya kung ng mga transaction kibalik kung sa kung sa tindahan pa, maglista ko ng utang, maglista ko ng gabayad, maglista ko ng gapalit, mga ano. So, next, deficits and surplus. If a country spends or agrees to spend more money than it earns, it has deficit in its balance of payments. If it earns more money than it spends, it has a surplus. So kung kung ang country waray kwarta pero gagasto-gasto, ang tawag yan sa deficit kuwang. So kung ang country sub, ano pa yung tawag, mas damo ang kwarta kaysa sa iya gigasto, tapos damuin sobra, ang tagyan sa surplus. So, in short, pag kung magasto ka ng maray mo kwarta, deficit. Pag di ka mo gasto, piskan damuin mo kwarta, may mo surplus. Next is tourism's impact. Countries with good tourism and hospitality facilities but limited industrial or agricultural exports value the contribution of incoming tourists to their balance of payments. They see tourism as a way to boost their financial situation. So sa mga country ko no na dili pa grabe ka advance, limited na sa industrial o agricultural exports, very important gid sa ila ang mga tourist kay amo ini sila ang gada ng kwarta sa ila lugar. For example, sa Philippines, very important sa ato ang mga tourist kay sila ang one contributor ng money nga na one generator of money and income nga na. Next one is maximizing tourist receipts. Countries often work to increase their income from tourism by creating new attractions, running promotions, offering favorable exchange rates, and taking other measures. So, pag mo lang kita maximizing tourist receipts, yung yon ila damo maghimo sila ng mga programs, maghimo sila ng damo ng mga structures, mga services, mga ingana, mga offers kay para mas damo ang tourist mo kadi sa lugar. For example, sa Philippines, maghimo kita ng mga programs, offers, mga services mas barato kibali, mga mas dako ang currency exchange, tapos mas paspas ang ato services, tapos mas dayon ato products, mas damo ang tourist na maakit. So mga di sila which results to more money gihapon. It's all about money nga di. Di kita magjema-jema. Next one is restriction on outgoing money. Some countries impose taxes on their residents who travel abroad, limit the availability of foreign currency, or even refuse to grant exit permits, especially in communist countries to keep money from leaving the country. So there are a lot of factors kung na nga sa i-restrict ang i-restrict ng isa country ang mga kwarta na ipagawa sa ila country. First of all, the most important reason is parang ila reserve ang ila money reserves dili mahurot kay no kay usually pag mahurot ang ato money reserve ng isa usually pag mahurot ang money reserve ng isa country mas maglisod sila mga ana. Pero there's a bad side about this. There's a bad side about restriction on outgoing money kay it often causes more corruptions. Investment and development. Once an area has become economically successful, businessmen and government agencies may be influenced to invest in tourism and hospitality and other industries in that area. This is known by economists as an accelerator concept. The accelerator concept is a term used by economists to describe a situation where an area has achieved economic success. So kuno, kung mas successful na kuno ang isa area in regards to tourism and hospitality, damui ang mag-invest. Tapos, ang gatawag ini sa is accelerator concept. So what is accelerator concept? Pag i-explain na itong accelerator concept, for example, balikon to itong kaina may mo kuan, may imo anong tawag ni may imo binignitan lang tala mga mo. Or may mo dahang kwarta, tapos may imo yakita nagabaligya ng binignit kay halini ang binignit. So ga-invest ka sa iya kay para mas damo na binignitan niya mabaligya. So pag mas damo na binignitan niya mabaligya, mas damo ang kwarta na mahimo. So ito na sab na kwarta i-invest na sa bito siya para mas damo pa ang binignit na mahimo. So in short, invest. Pag mag-invest ka, mas damo ang kwarta na usod, tapos damo ian mas damo ang kwarta na masud, tapos mas damo ang trabaho na mahimo. Tapos kung ito na mga tao na iyakatrabaho makakwarta, mutaas ang demand sa mga supply, mutaas ang mga demand sa supply namo sa mga services and products. So mas damo sa na kwarta gihapon mo balik sa imo. So again, ang accelerator concept is invest para magdamo ang kwarta, damo ni ana na siya. We're done with the positive effect on of tourism and hospitality and the economic sectors. Economic. Now let's proceed to the negative economic aspects of tourism and hospitality. While most countries encourage tourism and hospitality for its economic benefits, there are some negative economic aspects of tourism and hospitality that have to be identified and discussed. These are the high inflation and land speculation destination, high leakages from the economies of developing countries, low returns on investment because of seasonal fluctuations in demand, and over dependence on tourism and hospitality. First one is inflation and land values. Rich tourist influence. Wealthy tourists can drive up prices as they are willing to pay high prices for goods and services. Retailers may raise prices to cater to tourists, leading to higher costs for both tourists and local residents. So tungod sa mga tourist na mga kwartahan or mga tourist na mingkadi-ngadi, may mga retailers na pataasan nila ang presyo ng mga goods and services, which din lead to the suffering of the local residents. Kay syempre yaanad sila ng gamay da ang presyo, pero tungod kay yan damo sa lagyan mga tourist, tapos gipataas ang presyo, magkalisod na sa mga sila. Next one is competition and price increase. Businesses serving tourists can outcompete those catering to local residents due to higher profits. They can afford higher rents and taxes, passing the increased cost onto customers including local resident. So amoy itong laang ko na tungod kay ga-cater sa ang mga local businesses sa tourist, tapos pataason nila ang presyo kay syempre kaya sa mga tourist baydan dito ng mga presyo even though grabihin na ka bloated ang prices or grabihin na kataas. Dili dakon ang mga tourist ang maapektuhan kundi especially ang mga local residents o ang other businesses kay may mga business sagod na, for example, tindahan, inintindahan nga di sa langon ta lamang sa Haindapitan, langon ta lamang sa Mabwa, kibali mo dan tourist attraction sa Mabwa. Ang mga tindahan nga to dagkui ang presyo. Kaya syempre makaka-cater sa tourist. Tapos ang mga tourist nga to okay na sa ila biskan taas ang price. Meanwhile, iton mga tindahan na sa gawasan Mabwa, even though pareho sa silang baligya, ang tindahan nga to sa gawasan Mabwa is barato. So it means nag-outcompete yon siya. Next one is inflation from land values. Tourism growth increased demands for land, raising competition among potential buyers. The price of land rises due to these increased demands, impacting both property buyers and renters. So mutaas ang values ng lupa. Kung sa una laon ta lamang sa una yaon dili pa siya tourist spot, sa una lang lamang ang square meters kay 100 tapos tungod kay himo siya na tourist spot tuyoon pagmahal kay syempre taas ang demand, di ba? Kon taas ang demand tas gamay ang supply mas taas ang presyo sa inyo na. So tungod kay taas ang demand sa iyo na lupa, mas mahal ang price from 100 per square meter, may mo na siya na 500 or biskan na price sa mo. Tapos dili dakon ang mga business owners ang maapektuhan kundi ang mga local residents na gusto nga magpalit ng lupa para bahayan. Next is the last one is impact on local residents. As land values increase, local residents may experience higher housing costs. The demand for more tourist facilities benefits builders, real estate agents, and landowners, but can burden the local population. So itong mga gipon lang ko na tourist influence, pagtaas sa mga presyo, mga competition sa business, o inflation from land values, dako gid ni effect sa mga local residents amo kay as the values increases, kung mas magkamahal ang mga palitunon, mas magkalisod ang mga tao, ang mga local resident, especially dito niya anad ng lower cost of living. Tapos dili na sab siya kung mga business owners ang maapektahan, but especially gayod ang mga local residents. Now let's proceed to high leakages. Imported goods and services. Leakages occurs as country must import goods and services to meet tourist needs. This is common in developing nations that import items like cars, buses, and technology to cater to tourists. Pag mulang kita ng leakages mo dan, for example, pag mulang kita leakages, ang kwarta kibali mo dan muwara sa ato. For example, magpalit kita ng sakyan ay ang tourist kailangan nila ng mga sakyanan. So syempre wala sa mga manufacturer ng sakyanan dito sa to country, mag-order kita sa gawas. So itong kwarta na mo gawas sa ato country, amo ito siya ang leakage amo. Ang mga kwarta na mo gawas sa ato local economy, ang tawag sa is leakages. So nga din na context sa imported goods and services, ang examples nga di is import items like cars, buses, and technology to cater to tourists. Since mag-order kita ng mga ininabutang sa lain na country, mag-leakage gid ang kwarta, mugawas gid ang kwarta sa ato economy, which is often a bad thing, but then ito na investment, okay da kay mo balik na sa gihapon siya. The next one is remittance of profit and wages. Profit and wages earned in tourism industry may be sent back to foreign countries. Foreign investment in the industry can result in payments like interest, rents, or profits leaving the destination countries. So itong mga foreign investors, itong mga investors sa lain na country, for example, American investor, ga-invest sila sa Philippines, sa tourism and hospitality sectors nato. Pag may kita na, syempre, i-remit sila dito sa ila country sa America or something kung haing gawya ang foreign investors. Leakage gyapon niya ang siya kaya ito na kwarta instead na mag-stay sa ato country, minggawas hinuan siya. Next is last, expenditure for promotion and publicity. Promotion and advertising to attract tourists can be significant expense. The cost of the advertising reduces the earning of a destination area through these leakages. So, syempre, para damuan ma-aware o mahibaw na inibi na lugar, tourist destination, syempre mag-advertise ka o mag-publications ka. Tapos itong kwarta na imo gigasto, of course, leakage ito siya kaya gamit sa nimo. So as long as ang kwarta mo wara mo gawa sa imo country or something like that, leakages na yun siya. So high leakages in the context of tourism and hospitality refers to the significant outflows or losses of money from a destination's economy due to various factors. Ito na ko laong kung ang kwarta sa local economy mo gawas nga di kay mo kadto sa foreign economy, leakage yun siya. And damuy ang factors kung nasa mahimo yung siya, which is gilaon ko sa kaina. Next one is seasonality. Low return on investment. Tourism in many region is characterized by seasonal fluctuations in demand. Seasonality leads to period of high and low tourist activity impacting the return on investment. So may mga region na ang tourism hospitality is very dependent siya sa season. Kay may mga region na may time na gamay dan ila tourist na musuod, which means gamay sa mga kwarta. For example, naunta lamang sa Philippines. Ang Philippines is most sikat siya due to hotter weather for summer, mga ingana. So kung summer like mga March something, mga ingana na mga month, damo ang mga tourist na musud sa ato kay syempre paso yun siya na time tapos ang ito siya paso siya na time tapos dayaw siya na time para mag-vacation nga din para mag-beaches may ana. Pero kung December, which is rainy season, dili siya in demand, so gamay ang mga tourist sa mukha nga di kay lisod sa mukha to sa beach ga bagyo di ba lisod siya. Ito siya. Next one is hotel occupancy rates. Hotel occupancy rates fluctuate significantly due to seasonal variations. During the off-season, hotels often experience greatly reduced revenues. So, ang hotel occupancy ko mo gamay dahil mo kat sa mga hotel kasi syempre wala sa mga tourist. Pag mga ting-uwan na season, amon lang ko, anato gamiton nga din na context sa seasonality is summer and rainy season sa Philippines. So kung summer, syempre damuhi ang mga tao, damuhi mag-occupy ng mga hotels kasi syempre in demand siya. Pero pag mga rainy seasons like December, wala gid mag-hotel kay wala si tourist, lisod sa may mga luon ng hotel kung wala tourist. Year-round operation. Many hotels prefer to remain open year-round to maximize revenue even during the off-season. This can be challenging as they may operate at reduced capacity during slow periods. So may mga hotels na even though off-season, like for example sa to context, even though rainy season, mag-open gyapon sila biskan waray mga tourist halos. So this can really affect the income, the profit of the hotel. Kaya syempre wala ila mahimo kay yung mga hotel tourist dependent sa sila. The next one is wide-ranging impact. Seasonality affects not only accommodation investment but also other tourism-related businesses. Tour operators in particular face similar challenges to seasonal fluctuation and demand. So dili dakon mga ano pa? Dili dakon mga accommodation ang mga apektuhan ng dili dakon accommodation ang maapektuhan ng seasonality, but also other sectors related sa tourism and hospitality. One of the example is the tour operators. Kay kung waray mga tourist, syempre waray trabaho or waray kita ang mga tour operators. Um, so seasonality in tourism leads to low returns on investment, particularly in the hotel industry, and impacts various tourism-related businesses due to fluctuations in demand throughout the year. So seasonality really affects the demand of tourism and hospitality, especially the hospitality sectors such as the what do we call this? Such as the hotel industry. Sorry about that. Especially the hotel industry kay very dependent gayud sila sa mga tourists. And if it's the off season or season na dili demand kadayo yaon siya, syempre waray tourist, and waray tourist lead to no profit, and no profit might possibly result to bankruptcy. Now let's proceed to the last negative aspect of tourism and hospitality. Vulnerability to demand changes. Some destinations become overly reliant on tourism and hospitality as their primary source of income. This reliance makes them highly vulnerable to fluctuation in tourist demand. So may mga country or lang talagang may mga lugar, mga region or destination na grabihi ka reliant sa tourism and hospitality, or grabihi sila ka paggasalig sila. Tas amoy da sab ila source of income, wala na ilalain na pangitaan kung dili ang tourism industry. Tapos apektado gid sila kada like very kung ang mag-fluctuate ang demand ng tourist. Kung example, di na sila nga ganahan kay lahi na ang ila gusto. So kung wala na nga mga tourist na mukato sa ila, wala na ila pang hinabuhi. Hindi magkalisod na sila. So lesson learned, dili kita magsalig. Chares. So lahi pa na example. For example, nanto lamang ikaw ako man, kasalig pa ko sa imo parents, tapos kibaliliya sa kita ni mong parents or tai chi, subak ko. Tapos wala na imo masaligan, so maglisod ka amo yung example. Next one is internal and external factors. Changing from within the industry, such as shifts in pricing and fashion trends, can affect tourism preferences. External factors like global economic trends, political situation, and energy availability also impact tourism. So, kung ano naman internal and external factors, along nga di mga changes in pricing and fashion trends, kung may mga changes lagi, amo gyapon ni siya, kung may mga changes, maapektuhan gayod ang tourism and hospitality sectors, kay kung maglahi-lahi ng ila gusto lang, kung kaina, kung lahi ng ila gusto, wala yung mahimo, kay amoy ila na gusto. Pero kung maka-adapt ka mo, very good. Political instability impact. Destination facing political instability may deter tourists, leading to decreased demand. Tourists often opt for alternative, more stable destinations. So, pati mga mga political event, mga ingana, maka-affect sa tourist. Kay, for example, ang iyo country is Gagira or Gubuti, dili ganahan ang mga tourist mo kadi nga di, mas gusto nila nga to sa lugar na waray mga kagubot. Lisod sa bukadi ko nga di Gagira, edi nga matay ka mo. Next is economic consequence. Reduced demand for a destination leads to underutilization of services and facilities. This in turn results in unemployment and a loss of income for local residents and businesses. So, kung dili na in demand ini na lugar, syempre mga wara ang kung ang isa ka lugar, ang isa ka tourist destination is dili na in demand or dili na makadtuan mga tourist, mula ko kaina, wala na kwarta na musud. So since wala na sa mga kwarta na musud, wala na tourist, dili na kinahanglan ng trabahante. So ito ng mga trabahante, mawad-an sila ng trabaho. Pag mawad-an sila ng trabaho, wala na kwarta. Pag wala na kwarta, wala na demand. So amo yun siya. Overdependence on tourism and hospitality refers to a situation where certain destinations rely excessively on tourism and hospitality industry as their primary source of income and economic sustenance. So pag mulang kung nakita na over-independence on tourism and hospitality, ang minito na kulaong nagrabihi sila ka-reliant ato sila gasalig sa tourism and hospitality para sa ila panginabuhi. These destinations have become highly vulnerable to fluctuations in tourist demand and are at risk of economic stability when there are changes. So kung may mga pagbabago or mga kalahian na mahitabo amo sa tourism and hospitality, maapektuhan gid sila kadayaw kay syempre sila da say ang tourism and hospitality industry da sa ilagi saligan, pero kung mga changes na positive, well ganahan sila, pero kung mga negative magkalisod gid sila pagdayaw. Over-reliance on tourism and hospitality can result in adverse consequences, such as unemployment and income loss. When demand for tourism decreases due to factors like political instability or changing preferences of tourists. So, kung ang over-reliance ko no, kung may mga hitabo, tapos kung may mahitabo sa hospitality and tourism industry, especially sa negative changes, may unemployment gid, may mawala ng trabaho, tapos mga wala sa bang kwarta. And amo ito siya like kung ang demand sa ng tourist is mugamay, amo ito mga wala ang trabaho, mugamay ang kwarta, mga ana. Impact control measures. There are a number of ways to maximize the benefits of tourism and hospitality to the destination area. Edward Inskip, 1991, a consultant for the United Nations World Tourism Organization, or UNWTO, has suggested the following. 1. Develop tourism and hospitality gradually so that local residents can have sufficient time to adapt to it and understand it. It would also allow the government to properly plan, organize, and monitor tourism and hospitality. So, lang ni Edward Inskip, pag mag-develop kita ng tourism and hospitality industry, dapat hinay-hinay dili pinakalit kay para ang mga local resident dili sila makuratan para makaibaw sila na ang inisiya dayaw inisiya para sa ato lugar amo. Then it also pag mag-anam-anam sab kita pag develop, mas matutukan inisiya ng government, may bawa sila na ang demand ang kailangan nato kuman kay since damo na sa restaurant, ang demand nato kuman kay mga bars, damo na ang mga hotels, ang kailangan nato kuman is mga theme park may ana mo. Next is maintain a scale of tourism and hospitality development that is appropriate for the local as well as national environment. If possible, develop other economic sectors so that there is balanced economy and employment structure. In some areas, small-scale and dispersed form of tourism are more suitable than concentrated mass tourism development. So, pag mag-develop ko nakita ng tourism, sa tourism zone, dapat dili ko magpundukan sa isa ka lugar amo. Kaya kung magpundukan sa good, misudi mas yan maapektuhan dili dahon ang economy but also the local residents. So instead na if pundok nimo sa isa ka lugar ang mga tourism and hospitality sectors, mas better if buwag-buwagon siya. Tapos lang nga deep. If possible, develop other economic sectors also so there's a balance in employment and in structures. Dili dahon tourism and hospitality and ato i-develop other sectors, medical sectors, like security sectors para may balance sa economy. Next is apply the concept of tourism development zone. Pag kita concept of tourism development zone is adding structures or establishment to make the area more attractive to the tourist. For example, magpunta ko ng hotels, resorts, casinos, theme parks, or any other establishment na ganahan ang mga tourist mukadto. Tapos, ang concept of tourism development zone kay it generates income, it generates makahimini ng trabaho, maka-attract sa mga tourist. Pero be careful kita lang kung kaina dili kita magpamataka pagbutang ng mga infrastructure establishment kay ano pa magkagubot yon sa nga na like mutaas ang values nga na mutaas nga na ang values ng lupa, cost of living, mutaas ang values ng mga products and services, mag-bloat ang prices nga na zone. Next is make certain that residents have easy access to tourist attraction, facilities and services, including reduced admission fee if necessary, and that important amenity features have public access are not preempted by tourism. So, dili na daw kalimtanan na itong mga local residents amo pag kuan na pag grabihin na ka successful ang tourism hospitality industry nga na sa ato sa ato local area, dili na to kalimtanan ang mga local residents kay sila ba ang yakaunangan ha. Let's make sure na ang mga resident is kuan maka-access sila ng mga tourist attraction. May syempre may mga local tourists na even though inisa na area mga kwartahanin na may mga tourists ay mga local residents gyapon na galisod, i-make sure na ito sila ng mga tourists maka-feel sab sila ng mga ya-feel ng mga tourists nga na by ano pa reduce admission fee dapat barato da sa ila mga ana. Next is provide incentives to local ownership, management, and operation of hotels and other tourist facilities and services so that residents can receive direct economic benefits. So, self-explanatory, provide incentives to local ownership. Next is develop strong linkages between tourism and hospitality and other economic activities such as agriculture, fisheries, handicraft, and manufacturing to help develop these sectors, reduce leakage of foreign exchange through import substitution, and spread the economic benefit of tourism and hospitality. So since grabihin na ka successful kibali ang tourism and hospitality industry sector, it's better who is it again? Edward Inskip encouraged na i-develop sab nato or have a linkages, strong linkages or anong tawag ni siya? Collaboration with other sectors such as agriculture, fisheries, handicrafts, manufacturing para sa ma-develop ini sila na country to avoid high leakages. Kay kung ma-develop ini sila na countries in any case na dili na in demand ang tourism and hospitality industry, ini sila ng mga sectors makaproduce gyapon sila ng income sa ito ng lugar. And next, plan, develop, and organize tourism and hospitality so that no area becomes too congested with tourists and residents can easily use community facilities and services. So pag mag-develop kita ng tourism and hospitality industry zone, concept of tourism development zone, dapat lagi ito lang kay na dili dapat grabe ka congested kay para to avoid traffics, to avoid para magamit paghihapon ng mga local residents ang areas. For example, kung damuin hotel sa Tandag nga nasa kailangan talang mga himpiyon nga nasa sentro, yadi sa kami sa Awasyan. So kung damuin nga na ang mga tourism and hospitality industry sa sentro, grabe gid na siya ka traffic. So it's better buwag-buwagon sa kanat-kanaton para dili sa congested kadaya, dili mag-traffic, tapos ma-access pa ng mga local residents o para sa mga tourists para mas dali nila sa ma-access ang gusto nila kadiun sa ato lugar. And lastly, train local people to work effectively in all levels of tourism and hospitality, including managerial and technical positions in order to reduce the number of imported employees and to lessen possible misunderstanding between tourist and local employees. So ang mga local people nato kuno, ang mga local workers yan mga taga-Pilipin, mga example taga-Tandag. Kung may mga tourism and hospitality industry nga it's better na i-train sila instead na magkuha kita ng mga trabahante from lain na country. Kay para maka-benefit sab sila. And it's a good thing na makatabang kita sa ato local residents kay amo sa good punto ng tourism and hospitality industry. So, that's it.